Hello, everyone. Hope you remember the story about the arrow to the sun. The story goes the Lord of the Sun sends a spark of life to Earth. In this way, a boy entered uh, the Pueblo and grew up there. But the other boys didn't really want to play with him because they really didn't know who his father was. And so this made him and his mom very sad. So he searches the world in search for his father until he comes to an arrow maker who uh, sees the symbol on his chest and realizes he's come from the sun. And so he does what arrow makers do. He makes the boy into an arrow and shoots him back to the sun. When he arrives, his father wants him to prove himself, and so he has to go through the four chambers of ceremony. And after he comes through the last chamber, which is of lightning, he is transformed with the power of the sun. And you see his costume is extremely decorative. And so the Lord of the Sun sends him back to Earth, where he can spread uh, his word to the people, and they all celebrate with this celebration of life. Now, if you think back, the Native Americans would not have read this book because they didn't have printed materials like we would. And so they would have passed on the story by word of mouth and through their celebrations. And what better way to do a celebration than to maybe dress up as some of the characters? And so as these Native Americans doing these celebrations and passing on their tradition and culture, they would dress up as some of the characters, and then they would also pass out dolls called Kachina dolls to the young kids of their tribe. And the kids didn't really play with these dolls. They used them to remember the stories and to pass on these stories from one generation to the next. And that's sort of the idea behind the Kachina dolls. Now, if you look at these characters on your screen, they're probably about they're really small. You know, they could range anywhere from about 8 to 12 inches tall. I have seen some larger ones, but usually they're fairly small. Native Americans used the materials they had. They would have used leather or animal skins. They would have carved these from wood. They would have used berries and other kinds of paints that they would make to paint them. They would use feathers. They would use fur. They would use any kind of thing they could use to decorate these Kachina dolls to help tell and pass on their stories. And so what I'd like to do is I'm just going to sort of show you that all of these Kachinas, there's like hundreds of them, and it's really neat to be able to collect them. And that's what a lot of the collectors do now, is that they go out and they try to find and collect as many Kachinas that they can. But each Kachina represents a different character and a different story. For example, if I look at this character, I see the little plus marks. Those are symbols for stars. This has got bear claws on the cheeks, and so I bet this is about a bear. I like this one. The headdress is usually something that's on top of the head. It's got rainbows. And I mean, there are, like I said, there's hundreds of these, and each one's a little different, again, because the stories are a little different. Chasing Star has a large plus on its face. Crow Mother has two triangles. Also, you can sort of see the wings. We had Woodpecker. I like the Woodpecker design because it's got it's a cylinder that sticks out for the beak. We have a Rabbit Stick. I bet this character hops a lot. Making Thunder, where it slaps the feathers together. We have Parrot, which if you hear some noises, that's my parrot making some noises in the background. We have the Burro, which is sort of donkeys that would help them carry things up and down through some of the rocky canyons. We have a hornet, which I think of bees and a wasp that has these large antennas. Sun face, this is a very traditional symbol for the sun, the rectangle eyes, the triangle for the mouth. Just a few more. I like the tadpole because this is a baby frog. They call this an ogre, which when I think of an ogre, I think of Shrek, which is green, but their ogre they paint with white. Hemis is definitely dealing with the stars and the solar system. And Kosher is their version of a clown. And so when you would see a person dressed like this, they would probably try to make you laugh by either falling down or being clumsy. I like this early morning. It's got a corn plant. And there's a gray wolf. So I have some projects I'm going to try to put on have some coloring sheets for you, and I'm also going to show you how to draw and make up your own Kachina design. So I hope you enjoy all of the Native American projects. You can pick and choose any one you want, or you can do them all. I just want you to have fun and enjoy and learn about the Native American culture.